This will be quite a detailed presentation with many slides, so it's probably best to ask questions as we go along. Just feel free to interrupt me. Now I'm trying to share my screen. Share. Let's see if that works. And then I'll play the presentation from the start. Can you see my screen? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. So today's program, I'll start with just a few facts about Bריל, and then I'll talk about the platform by showing you some of our products. I'll just take you through them. And then finally, just very briefly on the migration and some practical matters. Yes, there we go. Bריl in a nutshell. So we are an international academic publisher. We focus mainly on the humanities and a little bit on international law and a few other topics, but humanities are one for us. We were established in 1683, quite some time ago. That was in Leiden, and our head office is in Leiden. You can see the picture of our building. It's quite new. We have more offices in Boston, in Paderborn. That's the Schoening and Fink office that we acquired a few years ago. Göttingen, very recently, Van den Heuck and Ruprecht was acquired by Bריl, and a small, very small office in Singapore. We have over 240 employees now, and we haven't met each other yet, so there are a lot of new people to meet since the pandemic. So 2,000 new book titles per year, roughly, of which we publish increasingly more in open access. All in all, we've published more than 600 books in open access across the years, and 360 plus journal titles, we publish, of which 33 also in open access, and they're also indexed in the major indexing services. So yeah, this picture brings you back to the start of the university and the library in Leiden, what it used to look like when everything was still print only. And now I'm zooming in onto a chimney piece, a mantelpiece. So we have a new office, as you can see, but this is one of the few old things we have in our canteen. But this piece used to hang above the chimney of the founders of the Luchtmans family, the founders of the Bריl company. And I'm showing you this because it shows you Pallas Athena, the goddess of wisdom and arts, and Hermes, the god of travel and trade. And they and on the, if you look here on the right hand side, you can see our logo, and they're even more they are more intimate. And it shows you, I want to point to it because here academia and the spread of knowledge goes hand in hand, has to go hand in hand with trade. So Bריl is a company that's for profit. We need to make a profit in order to keep existing and to continue our existence. We hope to exist for many more decades, or maybe centuries even. So all projects we do have to make sure that they can pay themselves back. And that's the same, that also applies to this platform. We are developing it in-house, but we have limited people able to work on it and resources. So we have to make choices and select carefully what we do when. So while our aim is to be well, to make it as high tech as all the, the Googles of this world, we have to make choices, and we are steadily working towards that. And that's, well, just so you know that as a background of what it looks like. So now to scholarly editions, what does it offer? So it's a platform that you can read on and learn from. So it gives you a lot of extra information, So the text we offer translations, commentaries, and tools to help you gain deeper understanding of these texts and the state of scholarship. And you will be able to cite from it. So it helps you to identify, it gives you stable identifiers to help you cite these texts and to use that in your scholarship. As I said, it's developed in-house with open source software. And that's the fact that it's open source software is important because we can also use other open source software and add it. So it has a basis in we use the standards of the digital humanities community. And we think that will help in developing it. So now to the platform itself, to the homepage. I give you slides and we can look later on, go to the live site and have a look, but I just wanted to be sure that this all works. So I'll show you some screenshots. So if you go to the homepage, you see this bar, home library, that's all. So, and I'll take you through one of each. I'll start with the homepage. You get information on Braille Scholarly Editions platform very briefly. And you can click on Browse Library, then it takes you straight to the library, but you can also do a text search. But let's have a look at the library. Here on the left, can you see my cursor? I hope. Well, so then that might help. So you see the publications that we have currently on the platform. We will keep adding more publications. So that's the page you can click and choose. Then number 3 on the bar is the search function. You can, excuse me, do a search across the whole platform, across all products that are currently there. It's a full text search, and you can see here what how you can search and refine your search. Then there is the about function, the how-to, and the frequently asked questions, as you can see here, and that gives you information on, well, how we set it up, more detailed information on the technology behind it, and what you can all do with it. And it also explains some of the things I will be talking about today. So you can also look at that later on. So now to our products. I'll start with 2 main products, and then I'll say briefly a few things about the other 3 titles that were announced. Flavius Josephus Online, and then the Peshitta Online. Just some information on Flavius Josephus. Here you find the URL. When you so this is the URL. Product information on the product. So we call it one text group. There's some jargon that's used in this community on how to define the text parts. So it's one text group. It's meant to be. We aim to have the complete works of Flavius Josephus. Right now we are not there, but we are over half. I think we're about 65%. Josephus wrote 4 works. We added the Greek edition in open access, so that's complete. It's an old edition that's in the free domain, and we are adding the translation and the commentary. It contains 3 million words, and we hope to complete it within the next 10 years. But we are dependent on the top scholars because this is the work on Josephus, so that's why we have to be patient. We cannot force anybody to finish it more quickly. So it's already available. It was already available on the old platform, but this offers better navigation, as I will show you, and more tools. And we have already added 1 more volume that's come out in the meantime, 6A, the Jewish Antiquities Book 1, Book 11, which is on the Scholarly Editions platform, but it's not on the old platform. Oops. There we go. So how do we get to the reader of this. So we click on the library as I showed you. And there are two ways. I'll show you the first way is just scrolling down. You get a whole list alphabetically of all the titles. I'll show you later that you can fill in the text groups, but I'll first show you this. So you go to Flavius Josephus and you can point at this little arrow, and then you get a drop-down menu of the 4 works that Flavius Josephus wrote. You turn here to the right and you see the URN. I'll come to that later. It's the identifier, the unique identifier of that work. Then you get the bits in green. You see Greek, that's the Greek text. You can click on that, you get Greek, English, translation, commentary, and bibliography and prefaces. And the mouse over, excuse me, yeah?
We've got a question. Which translation is there?
That's the translation that Bריל provides. So it's the translation that we are working on in English translation. And you have I'll show you, that's the next few slides. So you also see here in the mouse over how it's cited, the metadata of the book. Then, so I click on, if I click on that green button, you get to here. So it's the first fragment, the first section of the Judean War, book 1, section 1 to 5. You can see where the blue arrow is. You can see that, but you also see the passage reference to here on the left in the left column. So the left and the right columns. I should then reduce this, then you can see that better. So the left columns and the right column, you can collapse or expand. If you just want to read the text and you don't want to be distracted, you can do that. The left shows you the search function and how to browse, and on the right hand side you get the tools, and I'll take you through these tools bit by bit. So here on the left, if you want to do a text search, for example, you click on Eudion. Then here on the left, you get all the places mentioned in the books 1 to 7 that are referred to here, which have the word Eudion in it. So this is a long drop-down list that goes, you can scroll down, so you get all the places, and that can be useful for certain text searches. Then you want to have the translation. You click on the tiny arrow here on the left to add parallel version. So you could also choose to get a commentary, but now I say I want a translation. This is the drop-down menu that you get. So here you click on translation. But the translation is not finished yet. They're working on it and we hope to have it soon, but it's not yet there. So just so you know, it's coming soon. So for this product, you will see that that is not already. But I want to show you a bit how it works when we have the translation. And say we go to the life of Josephus. So we would all go back and click on life. And then you get here on the right-hand side, the translation of this fragment. Then if you want 3 columns, so the current platform doesn't offer it, but I played around with it. And if you open the whole Scholarly Editions platform again, you can make sure that you have, you open up more columns, you can make sure that you have both the translation and the commentary and the text. So now I'll talk you through on the right-hand side through the tools. So above on top, you get cite this. This is how you cite this passage. So that's that will change with every fragment. Now we get to CTS URN. And that's the uniform resource name. It's CTS stands for Canonical Text Services. These character sequences are called Canonical Text Services Universal Resource Names. Simply put, they are unique identifiers that make it possible to retrieve a specific passage of text from a database. And I have a slide explaining that here. I won't go in great detail, but here you see the URN identifier is Greek literature. Where this is the text from? This is from the TLG. FJO means that's the Bריל product, is the first edition, and this is the Greek. And here you see where the which passage is taken. If I go down here, you see the English version. So it's all split up a little bit, but I guess this is mainly important for people working in the digital humanities. But so you have an idea of what it means. Then you can export passages in either plain text, XML, or the source. You'll be given the source, some metadata behind it as well. So an example, if you want the XML, it looks like this. Then, well, I thought I'll skip text mode. We'll come to text mode in a minute. And text size, it's just you have different sizes that you can choose. But I'll show you text width. This is, before you saw a smaller width, and this is the fullest width that you can choose. Then we go to the morphological tool. So if you want to know about the grammar of a word, of the morphology, you click in text mode on highlight, and then you click on a word in the text, for example here, hieron, and then here on the right hand side you get information on what that form may be. So it's just a generic tool for Greek. You still have to figure out yourself what it means in this particular text, but this can be a great help, I think, especially for students with less experience in Greek. This tool is also available for Latin and for Syriac, as I will show you later. We are working on Hebrew and Arabic, and we hope to add more in the future. So that was the Flavius Josephus. Now I want to show you, by showing the Peshitta, another way of entering the library. I showed you briefly that bar, the text groups and work bar. So rather than scrolling down, you can also, if you know what title you're looking for, you can just start with PE and you get Peshitta Online, because we don't have other works starting with PE. You can click on that and you get to this page. So briefly on the Peshitta, here is the URL. You get the also text group page. So this shows you, but in the way of sort of cards, all the text groups and work versions that we present here. The Peshitta is almost complete. There are a few parts missing, but we hope to add those as well in the next, also 5 to 10 years. Here you see already the metadata and the read button, read English. And so if you either click on general preface or on read, you get to see the preface of the whole Peshitta. So this is like a sort of table of contents. Here you go to the general preface. And for now, we don't have the prefaces yet for each individual Bible book. That was our Peshitta volume that was published, but we are very lucky to have also in this meeting Hannes Vlaardingerbroek, and he is working on adding these prefaces. So they will be added soon also to this platform. But if you want to, you might want to see some of how the Syriac looks like. So we go to the book of Genesis. It's the same way. You can either click on edition or you click on read and you get this. So it's all the same as it worked with the Greek. For Flavius Josephus, you see here on the left the passage reference, the chapters, and here in numbers. You type in a number or range and select the section you want to read. So you can also, while you're in this reader, you can change it. You can type in another number and you get sent to that straight away. Do the text search. Sadly, I don't read Syriac, so I have no idea what I have selected, but here you get, on the left, you get the search and you see where this word appears in this selection of chapters. Then we published the text edition with an apparatus. In order to make it user-friendly, for all the superscript notes, you can click on them and you get a sort of mouse over with the number and the variants from another manuscript. If you want to find out what that number means, you have to go to the preface in which the biblical manuscripts are explained. So in this case, for example, this 7A1, it refers to the manuscript in Milan in the Ambrosian library. Then again here, you can expand and collapse, and you have the preface and the introduction to the text. So you can do parallel versions. Again, the CTS-URN, the unique identifier, and if you look carefully, you can here see Syr literature. So that means that it's Syriac and the Syriac Bible. And Genesis. So you get a very precise reference to what you're reading. You can export as well. This case, this is in plain text export that you can use in your own work. And here another X in XML. Text width also, this is wide, not the widest, just middle wide, just to get an idea. And the morphological tool, just like I said with Flavius here, you click on the highlight version in text mode, then you click on a word in the text, and here on the right you get the grammatical information. So that's it for the Peshitta. Then I want to say a few brief words on the Dead Sea Scrolls electronic library. It's one text group. It exists of 957 works. We have no commentaries, but instead we have where available translations and illustrations. So here you have the translation. The improvement is also easy navigation. And there's work in progress. We will add annotations. We are working on adding the morphology tool with the halot content, so the Hebrew Aramaic lexicon of the Old Testament content. And that should hopefully be there before the end of the year. And those are the main, and we will add further things. And I'll show you, for example, a part of work in progress. So the biblical scrolls have fragments from the Hebrew Bible. We have available the Leningrad Codex also on the platform. And this is not yet live, but it's in a test environment. So we've made a concordance showing you the same, showing you this fragment in the full Bible in the Leningrad version. And we hope that's helpful. So when you click on it, you're led directly to the Leningrad Codex, and you get to see the the Bible fragment as it appears there. Yes, so here is a screenshot of what that looks like. As I said, we don't have commentaries, but we do have the illustrations, images. So these are, this is a screenshot from the non-biblical text. On the left, you have fragments. There is no translation, I think, for this part because it's just too little information. But you have, in any case, you have the images of the fragments. Now, a few words on the context of scripture. Currently, when you go to the library, you see 5 entrances, and that has to do with the way the material, the underlying text were structured. You have, it's all split up in 5 languages, but we understand that people don't want to, some people might just want to look at a certain language, but if you want to look for a search term across the whole context of scripture, across all languages, it's not very user-friendly. So we are working on adding a faceted search where you can just do a full text search for a certain term, say on magic or on divine documents or something like that. You can just, so soon you'll be able to search across the whole work in one go and not just by language. This is just a screenshot from how the context of scripture in Akkadian looks like. So you have a translation, and here on the side the commentary in a parallel, and a text search, for example, Chronugi, you see where it appears and it's highlighted. Then finally, the Coptic Gnostic library. It's similar to the former text. You have the Coptic text here on the left. You have the translation. There is another parallel option to have the commentary, but it also contains footnotes. And these footnotes, just like here, if you click on them, you get the text that appeared that appeared in the print version on the bottom. So you know straight away. You see at the place where it is used what it says. Yes, so just recapitulating. So this is work in progress. The navigation, we keep improving it. And currently you can only do a full search for the whole platform or for a text part, but we are working on, for all products, one by one, we'll be adding full search per work. So where you can now search only the text titles, you get to search the whole work. So that should be an improvement. We will keep working on the presentation, the citability, and as I mentioned, the morphology widget for Hebrew and Arabic will be added, hopefully before the end of this year. The migration, there is a parallel run with the old platform. So, and we think it will at least, they will coexist till the end of 2021, so that people have time to start using this new platform before we cut off the old one. And if you have some questions, you can also click on this link, the frequently asked questions that I showed you before. And then this is some practical information. I guess that's maybe mainly interesting for more the library. And then I'm at the end. So thank you very much for your attention. Do you have any questions? I see there are some questions in the chat, and I haven't had the chance to look at them, so I can go through them.
Not questions. That I sent the links to all the databases as you.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. that, yes.
I have a question, Louise. First of all, thank you very much for the presentation. About the morphological search. You gave the example of say, eudion. So it gives me only the results in the genitive plural, or it gives me all the cases, all the forms of the word?
So if you on the left, you have I can maybe show you by going to the live environment so that we can also check that. Now I do share screen again. And then I thought I had it open. Wait 1 second. There it is. So let me share. Sorry, I'll go out of this. You see, I don't do this every day. Well, I can, so I'll just say it and I'll keep looking. On the left, you have the text search, and there you get, you only get the form that you have clicked on. But on the right, the exact form, yes. But you can, yes. But I think you can also do a search and fill in a Greek word yourself. And then it will show you all the times, or if a word appears in that section. So you can also just type it in yourself, but I thought it's easier. Can you see this now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is the live. So ginontai. I do copy and paste. And then I click on enter. Oh, and now I don't see anything else.
It's thinking.
It's thinking. Yes. That's why I wanted to do screenshots, because it's always thinking the moment you don't want it. But you could also just do another form and just see if there is a match.
Okay.
Yes, but that's right. And on the right hand side you get the morphology, but then you click first on highlight. That's a bit slow. And you just get the meaning as it might be. So highlight, yeah, ginontai. So but here on the left, oh yeah, no. So here you see. So ginontai, you see it appears twice in this section. But if you could just, yeah, if you are working on a word and you want to know if it appears, then you could also do it that way. So you don't have to go to the text first, but I want to make sure that it pops up. So that's why I chose words from the text. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, I hope I've been clear and not, yeah. And if you have any, or you've come across something that once you're working on it and you have questions, you can always email me. and I'll find out the answer like that.
You can also email me, and I'll make sure to pass it along to Louise.
Also,
also, if you have any suggestions for future developments.
Also, absolutely, yes. Yeah. For example, if you think that concordance adds anything helpful, or if you think, well, it's nice, but I wouldn't see a use case for that. So, I mean, that would help us also understand what your needs are, and so we know what to focus on when we set our priorities.
Okay.
If speaking on priorities, can I ask if there is an initiative to do something on the Ethiopic scriptures of the Bible?
I think it's a great idea, but we don't have currently anything planned. Are they being published somewhere? Do you know of that, or do you know of other publishers that work on them? Because what we also sometimes do is, if other publishers have published things, we could see if we could get a license that we publish the online version. So we always like thinking of that kind of thing. So I think it's a great idea, and I'm happy to look into it. But if you have any ideas on where it should go,
I'm trying to think. I mean, there is a center in Hamburg and actually in Bochum in Germany. That work on Ethiopian biblical scriptures. Maybe they have their own information. I don't think that they have.
They don't have their own platform, because I guess there are many initiatives.
I don't know of, but yeah, it's a point to start searching. Yeah, I'd be very happy to have additions on the Ethiopic literature.
Yeah, no.
Thank you very much.
Total sense.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, please feel free to write to me and ask if you have something later on you think about. And thank you very, very much for joining us. Thank you, Louise, for the presentation. And we'll see you in the library, I hope.
Thank you for your attention.